Okay, I know what you're thinking. This movie came out in May of last year. Classic Octo taking 10 months to get anything done. But I swear, it wasn't my fault this time. I was keeping watch of this movie's release, and it just wasn't available anywhere here in the States. I think it played for a short time in a film festival. That's how some of the other YouTubers saw it. But for me, I had to wait patiently to see it through other means. Of course, now it's gonna bother me forever that Sadako 2019 comes after Grudge 2020 on my channel, but hey, at least I'm getting to it now, right? So, Sadako 2019, I heard no good things about this one. Pretty much anyone I heard talk about this said it was either terrible or just nothing. Nothing of note, average, milquetoast, and I'm leaning more towards the latter. But I gotta say, going straight from The Grudge to this, I think did Sadako a favor, as this was way easier to stomach than The Grudge was. I don't know, maybe I'm just biased, but I think it's kind of interesting. Like, comparing these two movies so clearly puts a spotlight on the differences between American and Japanese horror styles. One's loud and gross and all about shock value, the other's moody and abstract and a lot more, well, pretty. These shots may be basic, but they look good. This movie all around was well made on a filmmaker's standpoint. But was it interesting? Was it good? What's different this time? Not much. One big difference is this girl here who, now that I think about it, I don't think was named in the movie. Anyway, she's like a reincarnation of Sadako and seems to control her to some degree, sicking her on anyone who gets in her face. That's cool. Okay, I'm into that. But I say control, but that's not really what it is. It looks like it at first, but after a while it's just, you know, Sadako. You've seen Sadako do her thing, and here she does it again. Checks all the boxes. I mean, it's always a delight to see her, but it's a little disappointing that nothing new is brought to the table. I'm almost struggling to find things to talk about, which really should say something. The general plot is that this girl is being watched over by Akikawa, who's on a mission to find her lost brother. See, her brother is a YouTube sensation who went into the house Sadako died in and is now haunted by her spirit. Went into the house? Hey, that's just Grudge again! So she's off looking for him and getting terrorized by Sadako in the process. Meanwhile, the girl's just standing around being creepy. Okay, I think I'm starting to see what people meant with these reviews, but this is bad in such a different way than Grudge 20 was. It doesn't leave any lasting impression, doesn't really strive to do anything new, or to be different than the plethora of Ring movies that came before it. Which, I recognize I'm at a disadvantage by having seen all the other movies. Had this been my first Ring movie, I don't really know what I'd think, but I assume I'd have more positive things to say about it. I just can't seem to understand why this movie was made. Why this movie? Why now? It's not like it's an anniversary or anything, and it wasn't really advertised as the grand return of Sadako. Unless I'm wrong, feel free to correct me on that one. I hear this was an adaptation of the last Ring novel, Tide, which... okay, I guess this was an attempt to make sure every novel had a movie equivalent, so I guess that works? But the movie is just so painfully underwhelming that I can't help but wonder, why did we bother in the first place? It's good to see the franchise continue and all, but you gotta bring something over to the birthday party or else you're gonna be rude. And, what else? Do you wanna know something? They actually brought back the main character from the original Ringu movie. I mean, just to kill her, and I had to look it up to even make sure it was her. But hey, that's a thing. Yeah, better wrap things up now, I guess. Bottom line, this is a really average Ring movie. If you've seen any major Ring movie before this, it's gonna feel like very familiar territory. Unless you plan on watching the entire franchise like I did, I'd say this is a safe skip. But you wanna know what? The very last shot of the movie actually managed to scare me. So, that's one point of respect more than The Grudge 2020. God, I'm gonna be dunking on this movie for a long time, aren't I?